In this tutorial, we're going to talk to you about another panel called the Color panel. Not to be confused with the Swatches panel, the Color panel allows us to actually edit the colors a little further. Yes, you can edit them through the Swatches panel, but it winds up bringing up the Color panel, or it's commonly referred to as the sliders. Now I have to enter a word of caution in terms of you just really have to be careful when you're adjusting colors by sight. Unless you have a lot of color experience, you're going to find, particularly when you print these out, they're not going to match what you see on the screen. So if you're selecting a color that's going to appear online in the internet or the web, then adjusting them by sight is fine. But when you're adjusting colors for print or creating new colors for print, you usually have to base them off of a swatch book, or you have to have a color calibrated monitor. So with the warning out of the way, this is how it works. With any of the swatches, when you select a swatch, in the color panel, it's going to show up as the color itself. Whether it's a fill or a stroke, it's still going to show up in these sliders here. The sliders for this color mode are based on the print colors, cyan, magenta, yellow, and black, CMYK. So if I want this to be a darker red, I might inject a little more black into the color and a little more cyan into the color to get a nice kind of darker brick red. If the object is selected, like you can see here with the bounding box, then as I adjust it, you'll see it change color, which acts like a preview. Otherwise, you're going to see it adjust here in the fill color, but if an object isn't selected, then you won't see it change the object's color until you've added the color to your swatch palette, which leads us to our next step. Once you have the color that you like, you can take that and drag it into your swatch palette, and then it adds it into that color. The color palette is also useful for adjusting of colors with spot colors like Pantone colors and things like that. So for example, I'm going to take this color, we're going to name it spot color dark red. I'm going to change it from process color to spot color and click OK. And notice how the color panel changes at this point. Now, since it's one singular color, I can then create what they call screens, making the color lighter. This only works when the color is a spot color. So see how it has this little arrow in the lower right corner? That means the color is a spot color. You can only do screens of spot colors. If I change it to, again, back to my red, notice how my color panel changes, but I can't make it a screen of a color because I have 4 colors to choose from. The only way I can do it is if I turn the color into a spot color. So again, when it's a spot color, it's got that little triangle on it, then I can do screens of it. But when it's a process color, meaning all 4 of the colors, I can't do screens of it. And that's how the color panel works in Adobe Illustrator.